Hello, fellow mini makers. Welcome to my messy desk. Today we're going to do a quick walkthrough on how to make candy corn. Little bitty tiny candy corn for your Halloween displays. So we're going to start with 3 balls right here in the descending sizes. We've got yellow, orange, and white, and that's the color and that's the way they appear on a candy corn. So we're going to take our yellow and we're going to roll it nice and thin into a rope. Now, I'm going to keep this piece just a little bit larger than I normally would so that you can see clearly what I'm doing and won't have any mistakes. But you can actually roll this to even half this size to get super, super small candy corn, which if you're doing a 1/12 display, you'll want to do that. So there we have our yellow. That is our bottom. I'm going to do our orange, which should roll out even smaller. Now this is going to produce a lot of candy corn, so it doesn't take much. And one thing I am going to suggest is you're really going to need a blade for this. You can use an X-Acto knife, but it's going to make things much more difficult, and I'll explain why here in a minute. So there's our orange. And then finally our white, which is the top point of the candy corn. And that's going to be the smallest rope. You can see they're getting quite small here, so you've got to be careful rolling them out. Make sure you go across evenly. Do it in small steps if you need to. All right, we've got those 3, and we're going to place our white. And right up next to it, touching, we're going to place our orange, which is our center. Make sure they're touching. And then we're going to do our yellow. And that's the base of the candy corn. Now we have all 3 pieces together. I'm just going through and giving them just a little squish to make sure they're nice and tight together. And you can see roughly how tall your candy corn is going to be at this point. Now we're going to take our finger and starting on the white side, and we're only pushing on the white side. We're flattening, and it's going upwards. It's only flattening the white, a little bit of the orange, and just making a flat spot on the yellow. So we're kind of bringing this whole thing to a point where the white is the top point. And we make sure that's nice and smooth. We're going to trim off the end. Now I'm going to use my blade to pick this up. Now we're going to flip it over and we're going to do the same thing on this side. Just going to give a little bit of flattening. And we push up against the yellow because we're trying to push them together this way, and we want a flat on the bottom of the yellow. So I am slightly pushing it together, and you see how the whole thing is getting shorter here by doing this. That's what we want. We want to build up bulk in the back end and keep the front end thin. And we're going to give a nice smooth. Need a little more pushing down on this end. And like I said, this is still a little large for 1/12 scale. At this point, if you wanted to go smaller, now we're going to pull it up. And if you look at the end, you can see our yellow, orange, and our white, and it's kind of in a teardrop shape. Now I'm going to take these 2 fingers. I'm going to hold on to the white end, and I'm going to push with my thumb on the yellow. And we're basically pushing it up into, and you see it made the whole thing shorter. And we're going to slowly go down the line of this and push that yellow forward while keeping that white between our fingertips, which keeps it to a point. Okay. We're just going to do a little bit of this. Okay, you can see how much smaller that end has gotten by doing that. So we're going to stop right there for now, just so we can show how the rest of this goes. We'll do this end. And you can see our perfect shape of our candy corn there. And that is the shape we want all the way down to the end. You can even put the yellow on the surface and sort of push it down. Now that we've gotten it to that point, we haven't overly worked the clay, but it is quite soft at this point. So I'm going to stop real quick. I'm going to throw this in the freezer for, I don't know, just 2 or 3 minutes, and we'll come back and slice it. Okay, we firmed this up in the fridge for a few minutes, so it's nice and tight and ready to cut. It helps to firm it up so it doesn't smash it as we cut. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our blade, and I start at the end, and as I cut, the pieces will stick to the blade, and we're actually going to bake them on the blade, and you'll see what I mean here. So we're going to start, and we're going to make nice, thin cuts. And I'm going to make 2 or 3 cuts, and I'm going to show you what they look like. See? And we're going to stack these up on our blade, like so. And we're going to go in with our X-Acto knife before we bake it. And we'll firm up any edges that we need to kind of push them into place. But this is a way you can make a lot of little candy corn at one time. You just keep slicing till you get enough on your blade. I'm not going to do them all, but I'm going to show you this. And then we can take our X-Acto knife, and you can see some of the edges are a little puffy, and we can just sort of push things into place if we need to make them exactly the shape we want. I like to just kind of square off the bottoms a little bit, like so. And that's that. Now we're going to bake this. Like I said, I'm going to actually leave them on the blade. It's easier than trying to transfer them onto something else because you'll distort them. So throw them in your oven just like this for about maybe 10 minutes at the desired temperature, and I'm going to show you what we're going to get as a result. These are already finished. That is our finished candy corn. And as you can see, we have beautifully shaped candy corn ready to decorate any Halloween miniature display. These are so fun to do, and don't be afraid to try different colors. I did some Halloween colors as well, and I did a couple that were green, purple, and black. You can really do any color. If you want to do Christmas colors, do candy corn for Christmas. So that's that. That's how we make our candy corn. Thanks for joining me. You can follow me on Facebook at Itty Bitty Minis by Gina. Or no, on Facebook, it's Itty Bitty Minis. On my website, it's Itty Bitty Minis by Gina. And you can follow me on YouTube and subscribe to my channel and hit the little bell up at the top to be notified of any further videos that I put out. Thanks for joining me. And remember, a creator always has a messy desk.